Hey everybody, it's the Metalhead Potterhead here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at the kind of controversy about the black actor in the new and upcoming Harry Potter TV series. Let's take a look. So if you're into Harry Potter, you've been seeing the news that there's a TV series coming. HBO are putting it out. It's meant to be super true to the books. J.K. Rowling herself is involved, and she said this is going to be a really book-accurate version because the movies had a lot of inconsistencies. They left out chunks of the books, and flat out there's plot holes in the movies because parts of the books are not in the movies and things aren't explained. Harry with his piece of mirror and stuff like that in the movies. If you read the books, you'd understand that. Anyway, the TV series is coming, and we've been getting leaks of the actors and so on. And one of the earliest leaks was who is going to play Severus Snape. And it's a black actor called Papa Esidu, a very accomplished actor. And we've now got official news that he is playing Snape, and we've got John Lithgow as Dumbledore and Nick Frost as Hagrid and Paul Whitehouse as Filch. Brilliant casting. Personally, so this is my thoughts on it, because there has been a lot of controversy. If you're into Harry Potter and you're into groups and so on, you're seeing there's a lot of people unhappy with the casting of Snape. A lot of people say it's okay. Me personally, I think it's fine. I'm a little bit worried. I think there's a bit of racism going on there. Now I say that, obviously a lot of people are going to disagree. It's not racism. They want Snape to look exactly as he is portrayed in the books. And J.K. Rowling herself drew this image. This is how she described Snape. He's described as pale in the books. He is, and he looks like this. That's her drawing. Clearly not a black man. You know, Papa Esidu has been cast. He will play Snape. He'll take a different take on Severus Snape, I'm sure. I don't think it's a big deal. I'm looking at a lot of people, they're unhappy. They want Snape to look like Snape. I understand that. And look, let's be honest. If Snape was cast as like if an Asian woman was cast to play Snape, I'd have a problem. I'd say, well, Snape is a man and he's not Asian, fair enough. But it's not that much of a departure. The skin color is a little different. Who cares? Like, honestly, who cares? It's a bit different to the book. People are saying, but J.K. Rowling said they're going to be super book accurate. Okay, I get it. Already there's a slight difference there. But so what? I mean, ultimately the casting has been fantastic. This guy, I don't really know him. He's probably most likely going to be fantastic. He's cast for a reason. Skin color's a little different. Why are people getting so up in arms about it? I don't really understand it. Now, I have seen some arguments saying it changes it changes the backstory a lot, because the Marauders, Harry Potter's dad used to bully Severus Snape. And now a lot of people are saying, well, that's going to bring a racial connotation to the bullying when they were kids. And even that, I personally disagree with. I understand America's history with slavery and so on, and even into the 60s with the Rosa Parks kind of story. We've read that, we've studied that in school here in Ireland. But Harry Potter set in Ireland, well, set in the UK. The UK and Ireland pretty much. What I'm saying is it's set entirely in the UK, of course, but you know, there's been UK and Irish actors, and the UK and Ireland are very similar kind of people, and we do the same things. What I'm trying to say is, when I was growing up as a kid, there weren't many black people in school, but there were a few. All over the UK, there was tons of black people because of the history of the UK. In my experience, and most people agree with me, black kids and white kids and Asian kids weren't bullied because they were black in school. Growing up throughout the 80s, they were bullied for just any reason under the sun. It was never skin color. Of course that happened and there were incidents, but I personally think it's different to what you would see in the US throughout the 50s and 60s, where marginalized black people were made sit at the back of the bus, all that kind of stuff. That didn't happen here. We didn't have that. If the bullying took place, it was just horrible kids being nasty to other kids, whether they were black, white, Asian, whatever, you know. So that excuse doesn't cut it with me. In the UK and Ireland, that wasn't really a thing that happened. Bullying happened to everybody, regardless of your skin colour. So that's what I think of that. And then I see this meme going around a lot, you know, Snape in 1992, Snape in 2025. And this annoys me because Snape, it's 1992, both images, you know, it's not Snape in 2025. Harry Potter doesn't get to 2025 in the books, so I'd imagine also not in the TV series. But yeah, I've seen a lot of negative responses and negative reactions throughout the internet. I think it's wrong. I think people should embrace the TV series if you're into it. If you're not, the books still exist. The movies will still exist. You can ignore the TV series. Here's one more point. I've not watched The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power. And I remember seeing the elf, again, portrayed by a black actor. And I do remember thinking, well, that is a bit odd because Tolkien explicitly described elves as pale skin. And there's no deviation from that in the Lord of the Rings books. Elves are always white. However, humans can be different colours. And Severus Snape is a human being and he's portrayed by a human being. Human beings have different colours. Elves do not. Elves are always meant to be white. That's kind of deviating a little bit, but I do see some of the reasons and some of the arguments. I understand it. People really want the guy to look like he did in the books. He doesn't. He's a black actor. Can we not just get over it and embrace it and be happy and leave the kind of, you know, racial undertones? I know people are flat out saying, I don't want the guy to play Snape because he's black. I know people are not saying that. But certainly there seems to be an undercurrent or an undertone that people might be thinking that. And I think it's a little bit disturbing. Be interested to know your thoughts. Do you agree? Am I totally wrong? Look, I'm looking forward to the TV series, regardless of who plays who. Once they're good actors, once they, you know, portray Snape as he should be portrayed. If it's a black guy, fantastic. I really don't care. You know, guys, there's too much crap going on in this world. Serious stuff to really, you know, that you should be getting kind of pissed off about. Not this, you know, you gotta let it go. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if you agree or not, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.